Hi, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody is doing great. Who do we have? Hey, Maria, Norma, Blanca, Renee. Hey, Robin. How you doing? South Carolina. Hey, my mother-in-law's from there, Blanca. I think she's from Columbia. She's Columbia, South Carolina, and stuff. So everybody, today, what am I drinking? I'm really bad at these embroidery happy hours because in the beginning I started having some wine and all that kind of stuff. Hey Lisa. Now it's like every time I log in I just got water. So as you can tell, I guess I'm not too much of a drinker. Hey Tracy, how you doing? And congratulations on your sale. And so I hope you don't mind if I brag, okay? Tracy D has an Etsy shop, and please post the link of your Etsy shop so that we can all take a look at it and stuff and help support and stuff. But I'm excited for her because she got her first Etsy sale, and that's like so awesome. So please put the name of your Etsy shop in the chat so that we can all check it out and put it on the Facebook group. And that's to anybody else also. If you guys started something, your own little Etsy shop and stuff like that, put it out there. I mean, I'm not, that does not bother me because that's the whole reason why I wanted to do this embroidery hour, is because I wanted to share with you guys how I feel about what I do and why I do it and all that kind of stuff. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that do things, but they do it for a specific reason. But I just want you guys know where I'm coming from, okay? And stuff. So you say, hey Sarah, how are you? You say, hey Lucky Lucy. I always like to say hi to you guys. Hey Barb. Hey Miss Smith. Hey Miss Ross. Miss Ross, it's because I don't know how to say your first name. So I screw up my pronunciation of words is really bad. Okay, so hey Alice, hey Dorothy, Maria, hey Miss Nelson. So let me start off by the whole topic for this embroidery hour was I had conversations with some of my girlfriends, and sometimes they're like, well, why do you do that? And all that kind of stuff, right? So I figured, if my friends are wondering like what I do, why is it that I do certain things and stuff like that? I kind of like figured maybe you guys are kind of like sometimes wondering also, right? So I'm just gonna put it all out there, okay? I work for the federal government, right? So I'm going to be retiring. I'm going to have 30 years in the federal government at the end of 2026, right? So one of the things that I notice with a lot of people when they retire from their job is that after like a whole month passes by, you see them come back. And then, it's kind of like funny because like through the whole process, you see them like want to retire, right? And they're all excited about it. And they're like, they got their date and they're like, that's it. I'm done. And I'm gone. And you guys are never going to hear from me again. And then like 2 weeks will pass by or a month. And then they're in processing. And you're like, what the hell happened? I thought you were like done, right? So a lot of times when I talk to them, I find that it's like they rested, but then it's like, okay, now I'm bored, and I want something to do. I don't want to do that, okay? I'm not saying that I don't enjoy what I do. I love working for the federal government. I like doing what I do, okay? Because I feel like I help people and all that kind of stuff. However, though, I want to do something different because to me, I feel like when you retire, it's kind of like a chance of a second life, right? A second career or something like that. So I'm a little bit of, it's kind of funny because some people are probably going to crack up because they're going to say, no, you're not. But I am a little bit of an introvert. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one that, I don't like big crowds, and I'm just not, I don't know. I have to feel comfortable in a room for me to be very outgoing and all that kind of stuff. So, it's like for me, I really loved embroidering and sewing. Now, my son used to be like it because I was like a single mom for a very, very long time. Where it was just me and Carlito against the world. So my whole focus when I was raising him was going to work, coming home, taking care of my son, and that's it. Focusing on my career, making sure that I go as far as I could possibly go and just take care of him. Then, I met Fred, and, knock on wood, I actually I'm happy, I mean, not that I wasn't happy with just me and my son, but it's just that, you meet the right guy, right? I can be one of those that I can actually say that I actually like being married to him, I mean, that's my bud, that's my rock. So I feel like I married my best friend. So kids grow up, right? So Cardito now is, in he's 20. And, when kids grow up, you're no longer cool, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of like, I guess I was at a point where I'm kind of like, okay, what am I going to do? So I started to get into the sewing. And then when I got into the sewing, I like the embroidery. And the reason why I like doing this kind of stuff is because first of all, I feel like I don't know, like when you're working on something, it's kind of like you're in the zone. You're like in your own little world, right? Nothing else matters. It's just you, that machine, the needle, and the thread. And you have an idea in your mind of what you want your end product to be. So it's kind of like takes you away. It's like you get into this little zone and it takes you away and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of like that. So I started to teach myself how to sew. And then after that, then I started becoming curious about embroidery. And I really, really liked the embroidery. And when I started making things, right, a lot of times you make stuff, then you're like, okay, what do you do with it, right? So I would just give them away as gifts to friends. And a lot of friends were kind of like, oh, this is really nice. How do you do this? And this must be hard. And I'm thinking, no, it's really not hard. It's not really difficult, right? So I don't know, and I just started to show people how to do things. And then I figured, oh, let me just do some videos on YouTube and see how it goes. One of the things that I like though is when I do my videos, I kind of like to leave them raw. I really do. I like the rawness of it. When I screw up, I kind of want people to see that I screwed up. For the simple fact that when I watch other people do things, it's like they say, oh, cut it here and then we'll come back, and cut it here and we'll come back. And they always end up with this perfect product at the end, right? So when I was teaching myself how to sew and do embroidery and I was watching other people do it, it's like there were times when I had to stop their video because I had to figure out what the hell did I do wrong. And sometimes I wondered if they even made that mistake, but they just cut that part out. To me, it's kind of like I think it was either the stocking or the Santa hat. One of them I kept screwing up and stuff. And sometimes I do know that sometimes it makes the videos a little longer, but the way I see it is that it does two things, okay? It helps you because if I made the mistake, then you already know what to look out for when you're trying to do it yourself. And at the same time, I kind of like feel like, everybody should, I don't know. Sometimes it can, I don't, it's about confidence, I guess. I guess what I'm trying to say is sometimes, your confidence level can kind of go down a little bit because you're not getting it. And I don't want people to feel that way. I don't want people to think, oh, Jeanette is so perfect and, all her stuff comes out great. No, my stuff comes out crooked too. I end up with puckering too. Sometimes I end up with nesting at the bottom of my needle. Sometimes my needles break. Um, sometimes I walk away from the machine, then I come back, and then I look at my machine. I go, "What the heck happened here?" Um, I just make mistakes. I'm just as human as everybody else. Sometimes I have my good days where everything works flawlessly. Then sometimes I have other days, like if you saw the video where I was making those 36 shirts, which I will never forget those 36 shirts. But I learned so much about, making mistakes and all that kind of stuff. So to me, it just, I don't know. I just feel that it's something. It says something. It says, it's, I prefer it to be raw because to me, and I keep saying to me a lot, but it's because I want you guys to know how I feel. Um, it's important to know that this is a learning, this is something to learn. You're gonna, as you start to sew more and as you start to embroider more, it's good, you're gonna gain experience, and with the experience you're gonna get the knowledge and you're gonna get the skills, and it's gonna build up, and before you know it, things that were so hard for you to do in the very beginning of this learning process, it's going to be a cinch to do within months. Before you know it, like people are going to ask you to do things. Like today, I had a girlfriend of mine. She reached out to me. She wanted me to embroider Christmas stockings. I've already screwed up so many Christmas stockings, and now I'm a pro at doing the Christmas stockings. So I was able to take her Christmas stocking, cut it up the right way, okay, and put it in the machine and just let it roll. And then I was able to sew it back up, and I was able to deliver it to her house in like half hour. And she was just like, "Wow, you did that fast!" And she really liked the way it came out. So, I mean, basically, the reason why I do what I do is, I'm kind of thinking this could be a second career for me. It's not something that, I'm going to look at to support myself. Hopefully I have my pension and I did save for my retirement and all that kind of stuff. So I think I should be good. But it could provide me maybe a little bit of extra spending money. And if it doesn't, that's okay. But at the same time, I just thought that by doing the YouTube and also doing the Facebook group, that, I could meet other people that share the same interests that I have. And I figured it could be a community where I can help you and you guys can sometimes help me, which in times you have. Um, there have been times when I've done a video and I say it up front, I don't know what this is, or I think I'm doing this right. And someone in the comments below will correct me, which believe me, I'm very, very grateful for it because I'm learning too. And, there have been times when I'm doing things one way and someone will comment and say, "Hey, have you tried doing it this way?" And sometimes that way that they tell me can end up being better. So, it's just something that, I like to do. I enjoy doing this and stuff. So, and I do have some stuff too that I want to share before it reaches my mind. I mean, not reaches, but I leaves my mind. I finally took my SC 1900 for maintenance. I took it in yesterday. Now I'm going to tell you, when I took the machine there, I had to leave it there overnight. So it was kind of hard. So I was kind of like, wow, I feel like I might have to go to a sewing AA class or something. I don't know. But it's really hard when you got to leave the machine. And then when I came here, that little spot behind me was empty and it did not feel good. So, oh Lord. Okay. So anyway, let me see if I can text my husband right here, because I can hear Mello outside my door right now. And he promised me that he could watch him, and he's not watching him. So get Mello. Okay, so sorry guys. I hope I didn't leave the video thing because I was trying to text him and stuff. But anyway, I lost track. So anyway, my SC 1900. I took it in for maintenance, and I will tell you this: the machine came back, and I just feel like it is like a whole brand new machine. Okay. In some of my videos, when I was sewing, someone even asked, they said, "Hey, your machine's squeaking," right? So I was kind of like, "Oh, well, it's getting old, right?" Because I've had it for over a year. Well, I took it to maintenance yesterday, got it back. I sewed on it. There is no more squeaking. So I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." I was like, "Okay, the guy took care of all the squeaking." And I even lifted the bobbin. He vacuumed everything. So there's no lint there and everything. So I am telling you, write down the date that you got your machine. Make sure you take it every year to get it serviced because it is so worth it. Okay. I've had my machine going on 2 years now. And this is the first time that I took it in to get serviced. It cost me, where I took it, it was $129 to get it serviced. I was like, that's not bad, for especially when I bought it back and I saw how it ran. I mean, it ran like butter. I was just like, oh my God, it was sewing like butter. They fixed my tension. I mean, he did everything. I was just like, oh, so I was like, oh, and let me tell you, it felt so good. I mean, because I went straight as soon as the store opened up, I went and I was like, I'm here to pick up my machine, because I I don't know. It's like, you get these machines. I feel like it's like my car, like it's like something that you love so much, and it's like, you just don't want to let it go, and stuff. So anyway, but I wanted to tell you about the maintenance of the machine. Also, in some of the videos, I had talked about that I had bought a Sawgrass 500 and I wanted to try to do sublimation. And in there, I had showed you guys that I had did this, okay? I don't know how I was able to start doing this without a mistake. However, though, now that I'm like, how sometimes you start something and it goes really well, then your confidence level starts to go up and you're like, oh, this is great. This is really, really easy, right? Okay, so I know there's a gentleman in the embroidery Facebook group. I think his name is John. And he was saying, oh, you're going to love sublimation. It's real easy and stuff like that. Well, he's right. When it works, it's great. I mean, when I did this, I was like, oh, this is really, really nice. I can see this, I can, and I really love the fact that you can put in the dishwasher and, it was just great. So I started to try to tackle it doing other stuff, right? I started doing more of these tumblers. I burned a couple. So I was just like, Now, this is one thing I don't like about it, okay? It's unforgiving. Sublimation is totally, totally unforgiving, okay? When you screw it up, it's done. There is no Peggy Stitch eraser like when you do embroidery and sewing, okay? It's like, oh, shoot, I messed up a stitch. Take out the steam ripper, and then you start, removing the stitches so you can restitch it. Take out your Peggy Stitch eraser, and you can take out the embroidery. There is nothing like that, okay? Once a product is ruined, it's done, okay? And I have samples to show you, okay? I bought these wine tumblers because I thought they were really, really cute. And I made this design, right? Well, I bought the design and then I modified it, right? And I put it on this tumbler and there's a little glare. But as you can see, there you go. As you can see, look at the right here. If you look like right here, right? And then the hair, it's supposed to be like a solid black. So I think what happened was I didn't have the right temperature or I didn't leave it in the oven long enough. So I was just like, great. So of course, this is a brand new wine tumbler, unforgiving. So that means this is like in the trash. Of course, I'm not going to throw it in the trash. I'll drink out of it, so because I just look at it as this is expensive. It's not that, these are not cheap. Okay, that's the thing too. The products are not cheap. And then when you mess up, it's unforgiving. Okay. So then I said, all right, let me try it again. Okay. So here I go. I tried it again. Okay. And to me, it came out better. But then look what happened. I had ink right here. See, on the top. So here we go again. So this is the second one. Okay. So my husband came out and said, instead of trying it on a brand new tumbler every time, Fred was like, just take the design and put it on the other side and put it on the temperature till you get the right temperature and setting, and then you go ahead and put a new one in there. Because every time you test this out and it doesn't work, it's $4 or $5 that's in the trash, So this is the thing that I just, and I'm gonna reach out to John and ask him how did you do this? Because I know there's got to be like a mad method, okay? Just like with embroidering and sewing, one of the things that I do and I had shared with you guys is when you are, if you're sewing a new design that you have not sewn before and you're not sure if it's gonna come out right, or you want to test it out, go to Michael's, buy felt, okay? It's 30 cents or 40 cents or whatever, but it's cheaper for you to take this, hoop it, sew your design on this, and then if it works, great, fabulous. Now you're ready to take your product and then you can go ahead and hoop your product and then you can embroider on it because you already did it once and you know what you need to do, okay? If it doesn't, then thank goodness you did it on this and not on your product, because sometimes you'll be embroidering a shirt and then you ruin the shirt or a bag or something like that, and you can't replace it, or you use then the piggy stitch eraser and then you accidentally cut the fabric. Because remember, in some of the videos that I showed you, when you use the peggy stitch eraser, those blades are really, really, really sharp. So if you cut too much into it, you can actually cut the fabric, not just the embroidery, not just the embroidery thread, but the actual fabric of your product. So just like when I messed up my girlfriend Dorinda's hats, she wanted the little golf man, and she wanted her name in the back. I spelled her name wrong. I put an L when there was no L. And then I went to try to get rid of it with the peggy stitch eraser, and it just ruined the hat, the inside of the hat. So I had to go in and replace those hats. So this is very, to me, unforgiving. It's and I have to admit, I'm not feeling that part of it. Okay. My neighbor, their puppy passed away, and I wanted to make a mug, help them make a mug. She gave me a photo. The photo showed up one way, and then I went and to put it on a mug. And as you can see, it's supposed to be a picture of a dog, tiled all the way around, and you can kind of see, I guess you can see some of the puppy, but it's too dark. I mean, it doesn't show like the picture did. So this is another project fail. These I don't feel that bad because you could buy these mugs for like less than $2 each. Okay. However, though, these make me want to cry because they're about like $4 or $5 each one. So every time you mess this up, it's $4 or $5. Okay. So I'm kind of like, why did I want to do sublimation? Why did I want to try that? I mean, to be honest, the reason why I wanted to get into it is because you have vinyl and people do the heat vinyl transfer. Heat vinyl transfer is really, really good to use on shirts if you have a professional heat press like I have back here, okay? And the reason why I say that is because when you are putting the vinyl on the shirt, you want very good pressure and the right temperature in order for that vinyl to really, really stick well to the garment. However, though, with time, as you keep washing the shirt and all that stuff, sometimes the vinyl will start to peel and it's going to start to wear off. So that's the whole reason why I like the embroidery. Embroidery is thread in the fabric. You wash it, it's not going anywhere, okay? And that's why I also wanted to look into sublimation, because sublimation is not the same thing as the vinyl. Sublimation is ink that's being baked into the fabric. It's actually ink. So it becomes part of the fabric. So you can wash it and wash it and wash it, and it will always be on your shirt. Okay, like this. This is not sublimation. This is heat vinyl transfer. Okay. I know that after maybe the 30th wash or maybe the 40th wash, you're gonna probably start seeing the sewing machine will start to wrinkle up a little bit, and or you'll see little cracking and stuff like that. That's usually what happens with vinyl. They have different types of vinyl. They have the stretch type. They have, I use Caesar. They have stretch, and they have the I forgot what the other one was. It was everyday one or something like that. But the thing is, I don't care what vinyl it is. It's okay to use. I'm not saying it's bad, but what I'm saying is for a very long lasting wear, it's going to eventually rub off and all that kind of stuff. But with the sublimation, it doesn't. So that's the whole reason why I wanted to do the sublimation, because sometimes with embroidery, it's like people will want certain things on the shirts, but you have to know how to digitize. I don't know how to digitize. I tried taking the John Deere course in digitizing. That stuff is hard. I'm not grasping it, okay? And, that's why to me, it's like I have a lot of respect for those folks that really know how to digitize, because you are talking about someone who is taking a picture and they are drawing every single stitch in that file. And then for you to be able to create a digitized design, so rich looking, I mean, that's talent. I obviously don't have it yet. I mean, and I don't have the patience to sit there either to draw every single stitch. So it's like, yeah, So anyway, oh, and let me also show you other stuff too. And I know I'm going all over the place again, because of course I don't have a script. I do things wrong. Okay. I bought hats, these little knit hats. And I thought these would be pretty cute as Christmas gifts, okay? Giving these to friends and all that kind of stuff. You can put your friend's initial on it and stuff like that, I got a feeling we're up for a cold winter this year. So these will probably make some really nice gifts. I also bought this stuff. It's not leather. It's kind of like, I call it pleather, the fake stuff. I remember when I was little and I wanted a leather jacket, my mom went out and she got me this jacket, and it was like a plastic looking jacket, I didn't want to wear it, because I knew it wasn't leather. Ooh, she was mad, But yeah, this is not, no, it's not leather. It's kind of plasticky smelly. But I bought these sheets. I thought these would be cute to like maybe make like little coin cases, and we can, embroider people's initials on them or their names on them, and then you can make little coin cases out of this. And then when I started to also look at these hats, one of the things that I started thinking about was with the SC 1900, and I'm going to try it and I'm going to do a video while I'm trying it. I was thinking we can cut out a piece, we can embroider someone's name on it, and then just take it and then just sew it on the hat, you know, just, you know, because the SC 1900 has decorative stitching, right? So let's use some of the decorative stitching and we can sew it on the hat and see what that looks like, you know. So it was just some stuff, you know, and stuff that I was playing around. I mean, I saw this on Amazon and it was like a pack of, oh, I don't know, 24. And it has the different colors. It has a lot of different colors and stuff. So, you know, so I figured this would be a cute thing to try. Worst comes to worst, you know, if it doesn't work on the hat, then I could turn these into like little mini wallets and stuff, you know, or little small projects. I'll look around on the internet and see what kind of projects I could come up with and stuff. Or a bookmark. Maybe we can make bookmarks out of these. I don't know. I mean, you know, something. We could try something and everything. But I did want to show you this. And I did want to share with you guys today about how I'm doing on the sublimation. As you can see, I'm not doing too hot, you know. I got to reach out to that guy and ask questions because I'm going to be like, oh, no. It's like, it's not working for me, you know. Because especially when I look at this, I'm kind of like, looks like an x-ray, you know. Like somebody went and got an x-ray done, you know. This isn't a good picture. I mean, the wording came out pretty good and stuff, but the picture really did not. And I don't know what I did. I actually used a heat press, a mug press for this because I have a mug press and that did not work. So I'm like, okay. And then these I put in a conventional oven that I purchased off of Walmart. I bought a whole separate oven to do these in for the simple fact that I just, you know, you don't want, to me, you know, I saw a lady, she did a video, she was putting this in her regular oven, but to me, I don't feel comfortable doing that because I know that sublimation, the ink has a lot of chemicals and stuff like that. And I'm not going to put this in the oven and all that kind of stuff. And then later on, we cook something in the oven. And then while we're having dinner, everybody's dropping dead in front of me, you know? So it's like, I'm just not going to do that, you know? So I just went to Walmart and got a whole separate oven so that way I could do just this, okay? And then I don't have to worry about anybody getting accidentally poisoned or anything like that. So I just didn't want to do that. So I wanted to share that, you know, with you guys and stuff. And I see a lot of conversations going in there. Let me see what's going on and stuff. Maybe you guys have questions and stuff that I can help out and stuff. Oh, Dorothy, I just saw that. You getting your SC 1900. Congratulations. That is so cool. That is so cool. You're going to have so much fun with that and stuff. Oh, and I see everybody's congratulating Tracy too, because she made that sale. So Tracy, when you hit Fortune magazine and you're on the cover, okay, make sure you give all of us a shout out and stuff and everything. So I'm really happy for you and stuff. You did it, girl, and stuff. And then that's the other thing too that I wanted to share also, because a lot of people say, why do you do what you do? I like to help people. I really do. I don't know. It's just me. It's my personality. That's just what I am. You know, I mean, it's just who I am. That's it. I do notice that sometimes that pisses off a lot of people, you know, especially like at my job, you know, it's sometimes I see certain situations where someone is struggling with something and I see the other person looking at them or her and just doesn't want to help. And I'm kind of like, dude, what are you doing? Help, you know? So I'll step in and then I help, you know? And to me, I just don't understand why some folks just don't do it. I just don't know why. You know, sometimes people, I've heard people say, oh, job security and all that kind of stuff. But to me, I'm just like, nah, I'm not about that, you know. to me, I don't mind sharing the knowledge. I don't mind teaching, and I don't mind helping people. And to me, it just there's enough bad in the world. Why should you be part of it? And if I can help someone, or help give them an idea so that they can be better and progress and everything, why not? I mean, it's I just feel that there is so much out there in this world, and there is enough for everybody. I mean, it doesn't help you to. I just don't feel that it helps anyone by being greedy. It doesn't help anybody by not being willing to step up to the plate and help someone else out. So that's just how it is. I mean, and that's just how I feel, and that's just how I always do. It's just me. It's my personality. So a lot of times, like I remember someone came out and said, "Wow, you tell everybody how you do everything. Why not?" I mean, if I can help you to learn how to embroider a shirt, so that way you don't have to go out and spend a whole lot of money. And the way I see it too is, you don't know people's situations. Some people are struggling financially, some people are doing fine, but you don't know. And if I was able to help that one person to embroider a scarf where they didn't really make a lot of money, and all they had was the $5 to buy the scarf, but yet they were able to take that, put it in their machine and embroider it, and turn that $5 scarf into a $30 scarf to give it as a gift, or even to sell to make some extra money. To me, that's a great thing. So, I mean, I like to help people. It doesn't, I don't ask for anything in return. It's just not, I'm not doing this really for anything. I mean, if it's, if the channel blows up, and I could make millions, that's great, But if it doesn't, I'm okay too. I mean, it's fine, because to me, if I've helped at least one person, to me, it's all worth it. So, and I already feel that the channel has been pretty successful, because I have FaceTimed with some of you guys, with some of the viewers, because they got stuck with something. And and please, if anybody is out there and you guys are struggling with something, and I'm serious about it, in all the videos I always put my email address and all that stuff. Reach out. I'll let you know when I have the time or whatever. And and I have no problems. I had one person from Puerto Rico. She said, "Hey, do you mind doing a Zoom?" No, do the Zoom, set it up, send me the link. And and I was able to help her out with her machine, and I thought that was great. And then I had someone else FaceTime me, and I was able to help them out. I mean, I'm cool with that. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, because to me, it's helping other people, and I don't know. And I just hope that, that as I help other people, they can turn around and help other people as well. Pay it forward, because, it just, to me, just makes it better for everyone. Sewing is so much fun. Embroidering is so much fun. I mean, it's something that is great, not just to earn money on the side, but also to make gifts for your grandkids, your kids, your significant others, your friends and stuff. It's unique, and it's something that, that to me is great. Now, I also want to mention the downfall of it, okay? For every project, this is something that I always notice. For every project that I want to try, I always have to go out and buy something, okay? So as you can see, this used to be my son's room, okay? And, he left for a little bit, to go live with his dad for a little while. And then when he came back, I was kind of like, I kind of like your room now, because I already had all this put in there. So as you can see, every little piece in this room is kind of like as I started working with the project, 'cause first I started with a folding table, okay, the folding table and a cheap little sewing machine that I got off of Amazon. And then I started buying the fabric. Then I had to start buying the thread. Then I started buying the scissors. And then I saw nicer sewing machines. And I was like, oh, I want the nicer sewing machines because now I want one that cuts the thread automatically. Then I saw the SC1900. So then I went and I bought the SC1900. So then the SC1900. And then I had the other machine, which was the HC1850. Then I started buying embroidery thread. Then you started buying the stabilizers. Then you started buying the toppings. And well, you guys know what I mean, okay? So to the young lady out there that just got your machine, welcome to the club. Okay, so every time you start to do a project, you end up buying more stuff. Okay, so this can get expensive. Okay, it can. Now, the way that I kind of like offset the cost is by doing the Etsy shop. Okay, so let me know. I'm gonna tell you exactly how the Etsy shop's doing. Okay, I ran the numbers and stuff. Well, I use QuickBooks, and QuickBooks is what I do. I keep track of all my expenses and all the money that I'm earning. Okay. In 2019, my shop, was in the hole, okay, of all the money that I spent and all the money I brought in by $526. So I was like, oh, that's not bad. That means I kind of like mostly broke even. So for everything that I bought and everything that I sold, kind of like covered all the stuff that I bought. So I'm like, okay, so 500 is some not bad. However, though, this year was a little kind of on the crazy side, okay? Because I went and I bought this machine, okay, which this machine was $11,500. And then I bought the sublimation machine. But the sublimation machine wasn't that expensive. It was about like $300, even though it really goes for $600. But I bought it from Pro World Inc. And I had some rewards, and I used the rewards to buy the machine. And that's the other thing too. When I buy my stuff, I always buy them on sale. I buy them with discounted gift cards. I mean, I always try to go and get that price low. Okay, buy them on sale, whatever. This year I'm in the whole 4,800. So I'm like, because but then I did buy huge ticket items, and I did buy a couple things I really didn't need. That it's kind of like you only need one embroidery scissor, right? Well, sometimes what I'll do is I'll buy one, and then I'll see another one, and then I'll buy another one, and I'll buy another one. Next thing you know, I got like well, as you can see back, I got scissors all over the place. Okay, so I mean, it can get kind of costly, So I'm gonna have to. My goal for 2021 is to minimize the spending and try to maximize the income a little bit to try to offset the $4,800 and stuff. Okay, because this year I did. I mean, I spent $13,000 this year in equipment and all that kind of stuff and everything. But the thing is, when I buy stabilizers, I buy them in bulk. When I buy my thread, I buy threads in bulk and stuff. So bobbins, I have bobbins galore. So I should not need to buy any more bobbins. I'm hoping for another year. So that's why I'm thinking in 2021, I should be good because I've done all the spending of supplies and everything this year. So next year, I should not have to buy anymore. I'm hoping. Okay. So we shall see as time goes on. But I wanted to share that with you guys because, that is to me the only downside about the sewing and embroidery thing. It can start to cost you a little bit of money, but I don't think it's that bad. But if you're like me, sometimes it's addicting, you know? It's like even when I went to pick up the sewing machine and I went into the sewing shop, I went in, I picked up the SC 1900, and I was like, I don't want to see anything. I'm just going through that door. I'm getting in my car and I'm going home because I'll start looking at the 10 needle machine. I'll start looking at the other sewing machines because they had the Luminaire there. They had the fancy big single needle embroidery machines, and I was just like, oh. And I remember once, I think I asked them the price of one of those fancy ones, and it was like $30,000. And I was like, 30,000. I was like, oh my God, you could have bought a Honda Civic for $30,000 sewing machine. I was like, you could have got a car. You know what you could do with it? I was like, what? I was like, my SC 1900 was only 1,000, and 1,000 is not cheap either. Okay, that's a lot of money. I mean, but I was like 30,000. I was like, oh. And then I was talking to my girlfriend Robin, and she was like, oh yeah, things can go up there in price. And I was like, oh, I said that thing should be able to hoop itself, sew itself, and sell itself for me to spend $30,000 on a machine. I was just like, wow. I was like, okay. But I'm sure though, in all honesty, with all jokes aside, I honestly believe that if those machines are $30,000, I bet you they stitch flawlessly. I mean, they have to. For that amount of money, it's probably like the most professional stitching you've probably ever seen. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I don't want to try it because if I see it and I like it, then that's gonna be bad, because I don't want to do that. So I'm like, no, 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 no. So let's see. We have questions out there. What time is it? Okay, it's 8:47. Finally acquaint. Oh, hey, Deanne. I'm finally acquainted with my ST 1900 for sewing, but I'm wanting to embroider. It's still scary to me. Haven't been able to jump in and try it yet. Deanne, don't be scared. You know what you can do too, Deanne? I do have a video out there on your first embroidery project. I would recommend you watch it and then just do it. Just take baby steps. You don't have to like rush into it and embroider something very simple. Just take a piece of fabric. It doesn't have to be like a towel or anything. Just get a plain piece of fabric, or just like I said, go to Michael's, buy felt, okay, hoop this, and then just try to design something. Just try, take an embroidery file, pop it in the machine, and then just stitch it out, just so that you can practice and get a feel for how the machine works and all that kind of stuff. And then before you know it, you're not gonna be scared of it, and you're gonna be like, oh, this is actually nice, and you're going to love it. I mean, trust me, enjoy that machine. Yep. See, even Janice said the same. Just jump into it. Yep. Totally agree. And at the same time, Deanne, I don't know if you're part of we have a Facebook group called Embroidery Happy Hour Adventures. Join that group, and as you're trying it, and if you get stumped, take pictures, post it, and a lot of everybody there on that group is so helpful. They will jump in and they'll tell you what you need to tweak and all that kind of stuff. So don't be afraid of the machine. It's a beautiful machine. You got it. You're gonna love it, and there's gonna be so many things that you can do with it that you're gonna truly enjoy it. Tracy, and you don't panic. Yeah, I don't panic. Well, Trisha, I do panic. I do. Sometimes I do. I mean, I think in a couple of videos I do say, I not that I curse, but I don't know if it's a curse word. I know back then when you say, SHIT, when you say that word, I remember when I was little and one of us said it, everybody would go, ooh, you said a bad word. I don't even know if it's a bad word anymore, but I mean, I do kind of kind of do panic a little bit because I'm kind of like, that didn't go too well, you know. But to be honest, I mean, sometimes the mistakes can be fun because that is how you learn. That is how you learn. So that's why I really, and you know, and you guys can see the mistakes that I make because most likely we all kind of make the same mistakes. We all do, you know. Because I think Janice, I think Janice caught one mistake that I made in one of my videos where I was using my single threader. I should have pulled up the thing and I didn't, and then I didn't use the little hoop. For some reason, I don't know why, I just took it and I put it on the machine. She caught that, and I was just like, oh man, I did do that. I was like, oh, so Janice be watching me, which I like because she keeps me straight. And so, oh, and Janice, now that I mentioned her, when there was a question that I did ask the service technician when I got there. There is a lot of discussion about when you are cutting your thread, when when you're changing your thread in your machine. In some of my videos, you're going to see that I take out the thread and then I pull it from the top. I talked to the technician about, is that unhealthy for the machine? The answer is yes, and it also depends on how you pull it out. He said if you take the the thread, and you don't cut it, but you yank it out. You do it real fast. You're like, oh, okay, I finished with red. Now let me take it out, and I just yank it out, okay? That can mess up the disc inside the machine. However, though, if you don't want to cut the thread, he said what you do is take the thread and you can gently just guide it off the machine and then pull it out. That way you're not cutting the thread and then you pull it down. They usually say that is the best habit to do, is to really cut it and then pull it down, for the simple reason that not a lot of people, sometimes they don't pay attention to how they're pulling it up. But if if you take your time and you just unthread it and then pull it, then it's fine. But if you take it and you just yank it, you can, within time, you're going to mess up the machine because there is a disc in there that, and you're going to mess up that tension disc. So, Janice, I did not forget. I did ask them when I picked up my machine this morning, and he said it really depends on how you are pulling that thread off the top of the machine. Do not yank it out. So now that he said that, I am going to try to change my habit, and I prefer to cut it and pull it down. So hopefully in my future videos, you're going to see me always cut it and pull it down, because I don't want to mess up my machine, because I actually love that machine. So, so I just wanted to mention that and share it with everybody in the group so that you guys know, when we are embroidering with the machine, make sure that you always pull your thread out. And if you don't, and you want to pull it, don't yank it. Don't yank it because you don't want to mess up your stuff. Oh, I practiced on Dollar Tree stock. There you go. That's a cheap way to do it. Yeah. But, sometimes people buy these expensive stockings, Iris, and you don't want to mess up those expensive stockings and everything. Hey, Janice, we're all here to help too. Sarah, I don't like to leave my machine ever. Yep, Sarah, I'm telling you, it was really hard for me to walk away. Okay, do you have to oil the SE 1900? No, Tiffany, you do not. You don't have to oil it at all, okay? They usually, when you take your machine in to get it serviced every year, they do all the oiling and everything. So you should not have to oil that machine. As a matter of fact, the technician told me don't do it. He said, I do that for you when you come and you bring it in for your annual service, okay? If you have a multi-needle machine, that is different. I have multi-needle right here. I always have to go in here, and I have to always religiously let me shut that off because of the light. I had to always religiously go in there and I had to oil it. Every time I turn on that machine, I have to oil that machine. Okay, but when it comes to this one, no, no oiling in there. Deanne. Oh, you're welcome, Deanne. Let's see. Anybody else keep track of your situation? Yes, Stamp Sue creates. That is one thing too that what that is something that I have mentioned also. When you are embroidering, okay, and you have to stop in the middle of something, write down the stitch count that you're at, okay, because that is going to help you so that you'll know where you are to continue and stuff. And and you can also keep track of the stitch count that you have on your machine too. As a matter of fact, I'll do a video on look how to do the settings and stuff so that you can you'll know where to look at to see what the stitch count on your machine is and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Iris, I've had my machine since 2012. Oh, so you've had this machine longer than me because I bought my machine last year and stuff. Do you remember to ask you to? Oh, yep. Yes, Janice. I did remember cutting it at the top and pulling it out is wasting. Yes, it is. And that's why, and Janice, I did share that with the technician. And then I said, hey, because I mentioned, I said, when you cut it on the top and then you pull it out, it's like you get all this wasted thread, which is why the technician said, you don't have to do it that way. He said, you can just remove it and gently untangle it and then pull it out. He said, and that way you're not wasting the thread. So he said, if you could do it that way, or, you can cut it and then pull it out and stuff. So, maybe what I'll do is I'll just do that. Because now that you mentioned the wasting of the thread, yeah, I wouldn't want to waste the thread. As long as you're not yanking it out, he said we should be good. Hoping to get the SC1900 for Christmas. Oh, yes. Oh, and you know what? Another thing, Tiffany, a girlfriend of mine, she was inquiring about the SC1900. I don't know if you guys know, but I went on Amazon. I remember when this whole pandemic stuff started and stuff, they sold out like crazy. And the next thing you know, they started hacking up the price of the SC1900 to like $1,500 a machine. Well, I saw that they started lowering the price of the machine. I went on Amazon yesterday. I couldn't find an SC1900 anywhere. And I was kind of like, oh. So I'm like, here we go again. Like it's a hot item now, So hopefully you can get it if, when you use felt, do you use stabilizer also? No, I don't, Donna. I don't use the stabilizer, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the felt is already kind of thick. It kind of is already thick. So I mean, and remember, this is just really to test your design. So save your stabilizer for your projects. I would not use it for this. Okay, this is pretty thick. It doesn't really need the stabilizer. It's just to see how your design stitches out and all that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't, I would not use it. I haven't. I just take it and I just put it on the hoop and then I'm good to go. Okay. So, I wouldn't do it because you're kind of wasting your stabilizer and stuff. And that stuff costs money, so you don't want to waste your money like that and stuff. Let's see. So wouldn't the felt be different composition than the actual fabric? Yes, Maria, it is. But the thing is, to me, the reason why I do the felt is because I just want to make sure that I understand the design and how it's going to stitch. However, though, it is, remember, the design, the fabric, the stabilizer, all that counts on how your final product's going to look. Okay. So I'm not saying this is the answer for all of it. Okay. What I'm saying is, if you're just starting out, if you have a design that you never really stitched out before, and like an applique, sometimes they have appliques with so many different steps where you have to cut different pieces of the fabric and you really don't know the, you know, the start from finish and stuff like that. If you got to practice on something cheap. Okay. And then after that, how it's going to stitch and everything, then you have to look at the fabric that you're going to be stitching on. And then the fabric that you're going to be stitching on is going to determine on your stabilizer. Me personally, my rule of thumb has always been, if you wear something, use cutaway. And there's a reason why. I have a video on cutaway stabilizer, okay? And using the cover up, okay? If you wear something and you use tearaway dissolves in the wash. If it dissolves in the wash, after a couple of washes, your shirt's gonna crumble up together. And then next thing you know, you're gonna have to iron it out. It's gonna be distorted and all that kind of stuff. But if you use a cutaway stabilizer does not dissolve in the wash. So what's gonna happen is it's going to keep all those stitches intact on your shirt. Okay. So you know, Maria, it can really get yeah, it can be a whole discussion on that and stuff, because there's so many different types of stabilizers, so many different types of thread, there's so many different types of fabric, and that might help you, Maria. If you Google this could help you, and I've said this in several of my videos. Google Fabrics 101 Stabilizer and Design Guide. Okay. This is really, really good article. Download it. I have it downloaded. I staple it. I have it right by all my embroidery machines, because what this does is it tells you exactly what fabric, what stabilizer, what type of design, and what needle to use. So that way, you have a very good idea of, oh, if I'm using burlap, I should use cutaway. If let's see, if I'm using leather, I'm supposed to use an 80 by 12 leather needle with cutaway stabilizer. It tells you exactly what you need to do with the particular fabric that you're trying to embroider on. So it's a really, really good article. I downloaded it, and I highly encourage people to do the same. Staple it. Just keep it by your machine, because it's a very good reference guide to go to. Okay. The heat press would be my next purchase. Oh, Iris, yes. If you are looking at a heat press, I purchased mine from Pro World Inc. And I liked it because they had very, very good reviews. So you may want to check them out. Amazon has a whole bunch of heat presses, but the only problem, with the heat presses that you get from Amazon, a lot of mixed reviews and stuff like that. But with Pro World, I think their heat presses are really they're a little bit on the pricey side, but they're very, very, very good quality. So and I even bought my Sawgrass sublimation printer from them. And I see Johnny Morales. Okay, I'm gonna reach out to you, dude. Because Johnny, this sublimation is kicking my butt. Okay, I'm gonna need help. Let's see. I'm currently making embroidery ornaments using felt, and they need to be done using stabilizer. Came out great. Oh, Janice, you need to post some of those pictures on our Facebook group, because I would love to see those and stuff. Did you use your Cricut design? Yes. Miss Nelson, yes, I do use my Cricut. I have a Cricut maker. I started with a Cricut Explorer. Now I have a Cricut maker, and that is what I use to cut all my vinyl and stuff. And that is what I use to actually make the shirt. Let's see. Where did you get the leather? Okay. I don't know if this is leather. Okay. It kind of smells a little bit. I call it pleather. I think it's like a little, could be a vinyl thing. I bought this off of Amazon, and I just typed leather sheets, and it's a little stinky. Doesn't really it doesn't smell like leather. I think it's kind of like a little plasticky. So and I mean, let's see what I can do with this. Okay, I'll come up with some projects and stuff and videotape it. And even if its project fails, what the heck, we can have some fun with it, and stuff. So let's see. Oh boy, I think I lost my place here. I know somebody was asking about the leather and stuff. Um, let's see. Um, Marine vinyl. I bought some marine vinyl. Marine vinyl can be very expensive though, Renee. I went to Joann's and I was looking at marine vinyl, and I think they wanted for like over $15 and stuff. And I was kind of like, yeah, I need a coupon for that one. Because I was like, damn, that's a lot of money for some vinyl and stuff. Um, I don't know why should bother anybody. You're just helping. Yeah, I mean, Iris, some people are just funny. So I just kind of, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes the what goes through my mind is, okay, well, you got a problem, then that's your problem. It's like you can keep the monkey on your back. I'm not gonna take. It's like I'm just like, okay, whatever, and stuff. Learning how to get, because people don't like to share much, a lot of secrets. Yes, Tiffany, people just don't. And Tiffany, if you're not part of the embroidery group, happy hour embroidery adventures, um, I say join that, because and you are right. A lot of, I don't know why, like I said, some people just don't like sharing. And to me, it's just dumb. I mean, there's enough for everybody. There's no reason for greed. But some people just, they are who they are. So I'm just like, okay, you know. Um, let's see. Any, can just forget about the group. Let's see. I'm trying to look for like questions to see if people need help with something and stuff. I see a lot of compliments though. I think that's so awesome. Um, let's see. Let's post a couple pics on. Yeah, oh yeah. Renee says she posted a couple pics, and guys, on the Facebook group also. Don't, if you opened up a business or something, right? Post it. Don't, that we're supposed to cheer each other on, okay? So if you're like, if you have like Tracy, like she reached out, I got my first sale. I told her, post the link, please post your shop. When you finish your projects, post them. So that we can see and we can, give each other ideas and stuff like that. I mean, that's a proud moment when you're in there and you're sewing and you're doing all this embroidery and stuff, and then you're like, whoa, look what I did. Share. Don't be afraid to post your pictures, post questions, and all that kind of stuff. Don't worry about that. We're here to help each other. So, don't be, shy or anything like that. Dia said, yeah, and buy something every week. Thread. Yeah, so yeah, that's me. It's like, oh, I want that. And I always end up getting more stuff. And as you can see, this room has really, and then you guys don't see, I have a closet there. It's not on the screen, but I have a closet and it's full of blank towels, blank shirts, and all that kind of stuff. So my goal for 2021 is to try to buy minimal and start just focusing on making stuff for the shop. That's what I'm hoping, and with the sublimation, boy, I really, I really hope that I can figure this out because if not, I'm gonna be a little bummed because I'm like I spent money on that printer and the ink and all that kind of stuff, and I really want it to work, and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. Well, I'll figure it out, and then when I figure it out, I'll make sure to share it with you guys so that you guys you know, don't waste money and stuff, if you want to get into sublimation. Yep, I always keep out for the sales. Let me see. Got my Yeah, Janice, you were so lucky. She got her SC 1900 for $885 in Amazon in June. Man, that's I paid 1,000. I paid 1,000. It was 999, and then adding the stabilizer and the thread and everything, I ended up it was about like $1,100, something like that, and stuff. But I have a feeling that it may end up price gouging again, because at one time they were like $1,500 for a machine, and I think that may end up happening because when I typed on Amazon SC 1900, there were none, and I was like, "Oh, that's not that's going to be something." That means a lot of people are really going to be all over the place and stuff. Oh, Susan King. Hey, Susan. Oh, she paid $850 in April. Man, shoot. I wish I did. I did it. I really did it. And stuff. Yep. Yeah, Alice. They have none right now. Totally none. Because I was looking. Oh my goodness. So I know it is past. Yep, it is past 9. This hour kind of goes by fast, it does and stuff. Well, I hope you guys found this time helpful and stuff. I really just wanted to kind of like just tell you guys a little bit about me and why I really do what I do and all that kind of stuff. And I just hope that, whatever information I put out there does help you guys. If you guys do have something that you want me to try, please let me know also, and I'll give it a shot. I mean, and I could just do a raw video of me trying it, and if it works, it's great, and if it doesn't, then okay, we'll figure it out. But I just wanted to spend some time, and I wanted to share it because it's important for people to encourage one another, especially like this year. This year kind of in a way sucked, I mean, a lot of, we're kind of in the middle of pandemic and it's kind of like rough and everything. So, but I just, I don't know. It is what it is. I think you guys know what I mean. I hope. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to call it the night. Have a very good weekend, guys. Please be safe out there. And unfortunately, I heard our numbers are going up in a lot of people that are getting sick and stuff. So please be safe. Please be very, very careful. This is the perfect time for you guys to play with your machines and crack up these projects and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's what I'm doing. I kind of love it because this is my little zone area. So, and I really do enjoy spending all these Friday evenings with you guys. I think it's like so awesome and everything. So I am going to call it the night. And then tomorrow I plan on hopefully tackling this again and trying to figure this out. I'm kind of determined because I really think this will make some really cute Christmas gifts and stuff for some of my friends and everything. So anyway, I wanted to say once again, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new and this is your first time, welcome. Please subscribe to my channel. And please join our Facebook group, which is Happy Hour Embroidery Adventures. You know, we're all about helping each other and just enjoying this craft and learning. So, you know, please, you know, I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up, and you know, hope to see you guys soon again. Definitely will next Friday, 8 o'clock again, and I'm hoping to post more videos this week. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys soon. You guys have a great night. Love you all. Bye.